What's going on, guys? Here in the third round of the Fall Brawl 2016 Asia Fight Guide Tournament. Back into the archives here. I start to fight with the guys from GFT team in Shenzhen. Here he attempts to get me in an armbar, and this is kind of a precursor to what ends the match here. I'm working. He's got a solid guard. Again, I mentioned this in one of the other videos. This was one of three guys that I had one of four guys who after this tournament ended up getting their purple belts. So again, I'm a fresh blue belt in this tournament, and this guy, the guy actually, you see him in the background in the white, who just sat down on the chair. I actually had lost to him in the heavyweight final. He got his purple belt. The guy in this match I'm fighting gets his purple belt. The guy beat in the first round of Absolute right after, and then Logan, my teammate, had gotten their purple belt. So I was definitely facing guys who had a lot of experience. Again, this was my first tournament as a blue belt. Here you see the guys trying to sweep, and I'm able to then, find my balance here. He wasn't able to pull off the sweep there. And for me, going against guys who hadn't necessarily had this type of experience wasn't that, it was still new for me, but again, I wasn't afraid of the opportunity or anything like that. So we get going, and throughout this fight, I was actually doing pretty well. I was doing a pretty solid job, but I just end up getting caught towards the end because I got a little bit sloppy, which is it's gonna happen for someone who's a new blue belt, who doesn't have as much experience, who isn't as adept at defending certain stuff. Now here, again, this is another match where obviously what I lacked in experience and actual jiu-jitsu knowledge at the time, I definitely made up for in strength and athleticism, because here, he's trying to obviously, kind of take me down, but I had a significant strength advantage against this guy. But his technique ended up prevailing in the end of this match, which you'll guys see a little bit later. So here he's trying to push it, here me trying to swing me over. Here I'm able to just keep my balance, and not necessarily knowing what's happening, but just knowing that I need to defend was a big thing here. So as I was able to, he's pulling me into his half guard, and then he's trying to work a sweep. I'm able to, pop back and get my balance. Here, I should have been working on passing. Well, first breaking grips and then passing, which is, obviously hindsight's always 20/20. But this is something that I got much better at. Obviously focusing on make sure you're breaking the grips, and then from there you can use that as an opportunity to pass. But he had some good grips on me here. And instead of working on here, you see I almost passed, but because he's got solid grips, here the referee had a thought that I had been grabbing inside the pant leg again, but I was grabbing to the outside, so we just continue there. So here you see I work on starting to pass, but then he gets a good grip. Here, and depending on the tournament, I might get the points there for being in the side control position, because I wasn't side control. Here he's working on trying to kind of sweep from there, and then he goes to try to shoot on me, but I'm able to pop out and regain my balance here. So from here, I do start breaking the grips, and I see that he was kind of getting discouraged because I was so much stronger than he was, and so I kind of start using that to my advantage. But again, towards the end, the lack of technique started to show, and his experience took over in this match for sure. So me just instead of and now obviously the strategy would come into this, which would be one, trying to get some type of takedown. Here I'm a little high, I would maybe shoot for a single or a double, or even maybe a judo throw here. Here he's pulling me into his guard. So as he pulls me into the guard, I start using my usual I start try to break the grip. But he does a good job here of getting the lapel over, and at the time I didn't necessarily know what he was doing. So here he almost gets the arm bar, but he adjusts, and right here is actually, you see where the match ends up ending. So he gets over. He's got my arm trapped with the lapel, and then he's got it over. So I'm fighting out of it, trying to fight out, and then I believe, yes, I end up No, here he readjusts here, and then he gets it again, and he gets the tap, which was it was a really cool adjustment. And you know, for me, I wasn't expecting. I thought once he opened, I was in the clear, but he did a great job of making the adjustment to kind of pull my arm a little bit once he opened up, and then he ended up tapping me there. And it was a good match, good experience. So that was the end for me in the Asia Fight Guide Fall Brawl. Thanks again for watching. If you like what you guys saw, please subscribe. Thanks.